रेकर्ड अबाउट रे तेणु प्रथम आज थर्ड सेमिस्टर रो जोटा स्कूल इंटर्नशिप रेकर्ड पेडागोजी ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल साइंस ताहा पर आलोचना करबा जोटा कि आपण मानकर टीचिंग प्रैक्टिसेस रे 20 टी लेसन प्लान आपण लिखिया पड़िबो एवं जोटा कि आपण मानकर षष्ठ किमा सप्तम क्लास रे लिखिया पड़िबो मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग होची ए पूरा कवर पेज आपण थे मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग होची बायोलॉजी एवं एठी आपण निज नाटी लिखिबे से पिलाटी ता ना लिखिची रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर मध्ये आपण निजर देबे एवं आपनर बैच अनुसार लिखिबे एमती कंटेंट आपण माने लिखिबे तेनु कंटेंट टी आपनकर लेखा सहिला पर आपण लिखिबे एवं 20 टी लेसन प्लान जेमती लिखि छथि आपण माने मध्ये जेमती 20 टी लेसन प्लान आपण माने लिखिबे देखंतु प्रथम कथा होची टोटल आपण मानकर जो प्रैक्टिकल रेकॉर्ड अछि आपण मानकर थर्ड सेमिस्टर रे आपण मानकर गोटे रहइबो अंडरस्टैंडिंग गोटे रहइबो लर्निंग असेसमेंट एवं गोटे रहइबो बायोलॉजी इंटर्नशिप आ गोटे रहइबो बायोलॉजी पेडागोजी गोटे रहइबो बायोलॉजी ऑब्जर्वेशंस आ गोटे से बायोलॉजी हो कि विभिन्न मेथड होतो आपण टोटल 8 टी प्रैक्टिकल रेकॉर्ड रहइबो आपण मानकर दुईटी कंपलसरी लर्निंग असेसमेंट एवं अंडरस्टैंडिंग सेल एवं आ बाकी तीनोटी 6 टी रहइबो दुईटी होची इंटर्नशिप दुईटी होची पेडागोजी दुईटी रहइबो ऑब्जर्वेशन टोटल 8 टी प्रैक्टिकल रेकॉर्ड रहइबो एवं तन्मध्यरु आमे आज बायोलॉजी इंटर्नशिप ऊपर आलोचना करिबा जोटा कि आपनकर मेथड ऑफ टीचिंग बायोलॉजी रहि जे एवं इथरे 20 टा लेसन प्लान लिखिबे एवं आपन को बारंबार मु कहिची जे सब तक हेडिंग आ सब हेडिंग तक आपन माने ब्लैक कलम लिखिबे एवं जहां रहिला आपनकर डिस्क्रिप्शन तक आपन ब्लू कलम लिखिबे तेनु प्रथम लेसन प्लान देखिबा कोन लिखिची पिलाटी इंटर्नशिप लेसन प्लान टी देखिबा तेनु प्रथम कथा होची ए जो प्रैक्टिकल रेकॉर्ड एटा होची आपन मानकर आंध्रा यूनिवर्सिटी आचार्य नागार्जुन यूनिवर्सिटी योगीवेमना यूनिवर्सिटी रयलसीमा यूनिवर्सिटी विक्रमसिंहपुर यूनिवर्सिटी डॉक्टर B.Ed अम्बेडकर यूनिवर्सिटी ता सहित आपण मानकर श्री वेंकटेश्वर यूनिवर्सिटी पाई मध्य थर्ड सेमिस्टर रो पेडागोजी ऑफ बायोलॉजिकल साइंस रो आपण मानकर इंटर्नशिप रेकॉर्ड समस्त रेकॉर्ड लिखि परिबे प्रथम निज नाटी लिखिबे तापर क्लास आपण देबे अष्टम नवम दशम सब्जेक्ट लिखे बायोलॉजी यूनिट लिखे सेल द बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ एवं टॉपिक इंट्रोडक्शन लिखे डेट छाडी देबे एवं इथे जो जहा लिखिबे आपण मानकर चेंज कर लिखिया मु वर्तमान लेसन मोर लेसन प्लान 1 टा आपण लेसन 2 3 4 5 6 एमदी चेंज कर लिखे जा फल कि जेतु ओडिसा रो शह हजार हजार पिला सेम प्रैक्टिकल को लिखिबे सेति मई लेसन प्लान टी चेंज कर लिखिले भलो मार्क आपण देबे किछि असुविधा नै एटा परफेक्ट यूनिवर्सिटी रो प्रैक्टिकल रेकॉर्ड लेखा एवं कोन अछि देखिबे आर यार थी जे ब्यूटीफुल प्लेस where the different types of living organism are living non-living together from unicellular organism like amoeba invisible bacteria to a huge blue whale all have the basic units called the not aware of the living world that was not around 350 years ago. People were not aware of the living world that was not years ago. Thereafter many scientists were observing unknown world with the help of microscope. A scientist named Anatomian Vanula 1632 to 1723 and Robert 1635 to 1702 used the very first person who coined the term of research about the stated all living organism a group of cell. The basic unit of living organism is cell of hence it's needed a group cell. The basic unit of living organism to be researched more in order and disclose all intimation like its basic function to study about the basic structure. A proper use of microscopic and preparation is needed for its study. Structure of the cell. In this year 1665 Robert Hooke the British scientist observed this slight curve dead cell work plant cell under a simple magnifying which he made when he looked at silence a curve through device. He noticed some poor cell. This came from a Latin word cella meaning a small room like in cellular which means the sharp side cell. देखंदो एटी हनी टू कम लिखाइछि एवं प्रथम कथा जिथरे कोनोसी कलर पेन यूज करबे नाही आपनकर ब्लू ब्लैक व्यतीत कोनोसी कलर पेन यूज करबे नाही ब्लू पेन डिस्क्रिप्शन ब्लैक पेन आपनकर हेडिंग सब हेडिंग देबे एवं तळे देखंदो ऑब्जेक्टिव स्पेसिफिकेशन लिखाइ आपन माने उद्यमति लिखिबे आ सबुट बड़ कथा ला एटा आपन माने लैंडस्केप मोड लिखिबे एवं जोटा कि आपन मानकर रहिबो लैंडस्केप मोड रे आपन लिखिबे किबा आपन मानकर हॉरिजॉन्टली मोड रे आपन माने लिखिबे उल्टे खाताटा को लिखि परिबे एवं एठी जेमति लिखा आइछि ऑब्जेक्टिव कोन अछि ना एक्नॉलेज एवं एक्नॉलेज कोन अछि ना द स्टूडेंट acquire the basic knowledge about the cell and its structure. Its cell is a basic unit of life. Understanding कौन सी ना the pupil understand the basic of the cell. Application कौन सी ना the student applies the knowledge of science in respective field. এবং specification कौन सी ना recall. The student recall the terms like a cell, microscopy, staining observation. Recognition कौन सी ना the student recognizes the basic unit of life. Terms कौन सी ना the student learn the terms like a microscopic and cell. Fact कौन सी ना the student should understand the fact that the cell is a basic unit of life. Concept अच्छी the pupil understand the concept of basic unit of life. এবং স্কিল কোন আছে না the pupil develop skill in drawing the structure of cell clearly with a label diagram. Make a hypothesis. The student should make the hypothesis about how cell is the basic unit of life এবং the pupil draw neat diagram of a cell. তেଣু এটি সরিগলা তেণু তারপরে কোন আছে না টিচিং এডস টিচিং মেথডস কোন রহিব না স্টেপস রহিব মোটিভেশন কন্টেন্ট অ্যানালিসিস রহিব ইন্ট্রোডাকশন অফ দ্য লেসন এবং অবজেক্টিভ এন্ড স্পেসিফিক টু টেস্ট দ্য প্রিভিয়াস নলেজ এটা হচ্ছে আপন টিএলএম রহিব অফ দ্য পিউপিলস এবং টিচিং অ্যাক্টিভিটি রহিব গুড মর্নিং স্টুডেন্টস হাউ আর ইউ where do you live and what are the present on earth, what are these called, how can you use this, and so all the living have a basic unit of life called epo lekha good morning fine on earth plant animal trees living things with the help of eyes এবং cell এইপরি ভাবে আপন দেখি পারতে তারপরে fact লিখিবে the people know the fact that cell is the basic unit of life. Application भी लिखिए the student application knowledge of a science all the knowledge about the basic unit of life. Recall भी लिखिए the student recall the term live a cell microscope এবং before the first microscope was invented people were not aware the living world that was not visible to scientists observe unknown world. The help of who were the scientists observe the microscope naked eyes microscope anatomy invention a chart of microscopy এবং all living organism content to study the basic structure what is the essential basic function of cell who observed nucleus unit of life. Robert Hooke he thought that was the made of very small cuteness cell এবং summarization কোন আছে না every living organism is a made of the basic unit of life is called as anatomy. Hooke observed the Robert Hooke like the microscopic in the year 1665. It is a resemble as a structure of comb space cell a Latin from little room এবং recapitulation question কিছু ଅଛି cell is the basic unit of dash that to study about the basic structure dash the essential এবং dash is discovered the microscopy assignment কোন છે write about cell এবং আপন ମାନଙ୍କର draw the diagram. ତେଣୁ ସେଇ ପ୍ରକାରେ internship lesson plan 2 ଯୋଟା କି preliminary information এবং name of the student ନିଜ ନାଁ ଲେଖିବେ class 8ମ ନମ୍ବର subject biological science unit ଲେଖେ cell the basic unit of topic a significance observation date ଛାଡି ଦେବେ এবং এটি দেখিবা our the understanding the cell different type of a cell is observed the important thought that the belief the cell's nucleus is different kind of cell again that it was the integrated part of the cell. Robert Brown while the deserving the internal corona Brown noticed a circular spot that the lightly other the cell wall claimed that this is the structure was integral part of cell called its nucleus. This is the year 1831 which means that there is a gap of around 150 200 fused nucleus is the sequence. Then object कोन अछि objective कोन अछि specification the student requires knowledge absolute understanding the pupils understanding the microscope से पूरी application कोन अछि the student applies the knowledge of the under fundamental of life এবং recall কোন अछि না the student recall the term like a microscope cell recognition अछि the student recognize the concept of microscopic observation terms which the student is understanding the term like a nucleus stoma epithelium facts madhya achi the student is understanding the fact that the cell is observed under the microscope. Skill madhya achi the pupil develop the skill is drawing nucleus concept the student introduced in the concept of observation of make a hypothesis the student make the hypothesis that how microscope is the pupil draw a diagram a plant cell to test the previous knowledge of pupil. Good morning students, how are you, what is your name, how can you see the things that are present in your surroundings, how is microscope useful. So today let us know about the observation under the microscope. Good morning fine likun with the help of eyes to observe the observation of a scientist named Robert J. Brown 1773-1853 have made up a significant to our understanding cell knowledge भी मध्य लिखिबो no to the no students acquire the knowledge observation who made significant contribution understanding the cell which is the most unfounded Robert Brown is the nucleus तो ये पूरी भाबरे आपनकर among the different part of a cell the nucleus is the most no part Brown claimed that the structure is integral part of cell called nucleus recall the student recall the term like microscopic cell observation understanding the pupil understanding the microscopic help the pupil up to understand a nucleus the integral part what did the Brown what is integral part nucleus was observed in the year cell circular parts nuclear trajectories এবং it is skills rela the pupil develop the skills is a drawing cell internship lesson plan 3 pedagogy preliminary information name of the student teacher subject unit topic date लिखिदेबे এবং निज ना लिखिबे सब्जेक्ट बायोलॉजी साइंस यूनिट सेल द बेसिक यूनिट ऑफ लाइफ এবং टॉपिक होची डाइवर्सिटी इन सेल क्लास लिखिदेबे से अष्टम नवम दशम जहा लिखिया लिखिबे सी लिखि जे षष्ठ सप्तम एवं एठी जो जिंस लिखा अछि ए सब जिंस आपण लिखिए द बाउंड्रीज द ऑब्जर्वेशन सिलेक्टेड सब्सटेंस आउट ऑफ द सेल of the overhand the seal of the pill onion of the outer covering in the thinner in the loop cell it is because of their layer present in the member of the cell what is that gives to the both of the around body cheek cell the nucleus present more than at less of the cell whereas the onion cell is most likely outer of layer the jelly like a substance between the nucleus in the member of which called is the cytoplasm and a male heterogeneous in the cell diversity in cell the organism has different shape size and vary in the number of cells that are the amoeba paramecium and single called or the cell are called the unicellular organism the single cell is capable to perform all life process like obtaining food respiration and reproduction if you have objective ରହିବ ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କର acknowledge ରହିବ the children acquire the knowledge of different organism understanding ରହିବ the pupil understanding the concept of diversity application of the student applies the knowledge of diversity in cell specification ରହିବ recall the student recall the membrane cell wall nucleus recognize the student recognize the concept of diversity terms the student terms unicellular organism multicellular organism fact the people understood that the living organism vary the number of cell এবং make a hypothesis the student make a hypothesis that how organism are classified the people draw different types of organism এবং objectives kon rahibo na acknowledgement the children acquire the knowledge of organism understanding the student that concept of different kind of cell এবং the student applies this knowledge of cell the student recall the cell wall nucleus cytoplasm recognition the student recognize the concept of diversity in cell terms so the student learn term like a unicellular organism multicellular organism a skill ho the student develop the skill is a drawing type of organism fact of the pupil understand the fact that living organism is made the number of cell content of the make a hypothesis the student make the hypothesis that how organism are classified এবং মেথড হচ্ছে লেকচার ডেমনস্ট্রেট মেথড HR ডিফারেন্ট মেথড বুকস 8 ক্লাস মেথড টেক্সট বুক ডিকশনারি কন্টেন্ট অ্যানালিসিস হচ্ছে ইন্ট্রোডাকশন লেসন অবজেক্টিভ হচ্ছে সেশন টু দ্য টেস্ট অফ প্রিভিয়াস নলেজ পিপল এবং টিচ গুড মর্নিং স্টুডেন্ট হাউ আর ইউ হোয়াট আর দ্য পার্ট অফ সেল হাউ মেনি কাইন্ডস অফ organism are there so today we are going to learn about diversity good morning fine cellular unicellular multicellular এবং the boundary the cell wall is the cell membrane this is the gives the boundary of cell membrane cell internship lesson 4 এবং যেটা হচ্ছে preliminary information name of the student teacher এবং class V I subject biological science unit হচ্ছে cell the basic unit of life topic shape of the cell date রইলা এবং এই পুরো have the specific function of cell amoeba it keeps changing in appear verifying the protecting its body they are called is the projection appearance and appear of the amoeba makes or feed among cell hoj the size of the cell organisms may be a small the middle of the matter may be a large few centimeter the majority of cells too small to seen with the they can be seen only through a microscope smallest cell is 0.1 0.1 m a human being the kidney of the cell human cell is namely 20 to 100 centimeter the size of the cell is determined to its function the size of the organism depending on number of cells are not on size of the cell is a size of and number separate objectives kon achina knowledge understanding the student require the knowledge about the size of the organism the pupil understanding the size of organism and recall the student are called the term cell microscope pseudopodia recognition of the student recognize the concept of size of the shape organism এবং scientific attitude হচ্ছে কোন the pupil developing the scientific attitude by studying the in acquiring in questions towards the size of organism the student terms the like of pseudopodia এবং skills হচ্ছে কোন the student should have developed the skills in a diagram and labeling of cell structure fact or the pupil understand the fact that organism differ in shape size structure then activity TLM lecture concept of analysis or introduction of the lesson objective specification to test the previous knowledge of the pupil teachers activity good morning students how are you in your school assembly how will you stand how will you sit in the class in the same day the organize also well they say size and to learn about the different shape size organism good morning according to height এবং according to size এবং shape and size organism সেপুরি summarization হচ্ছে কোন the shape and size of the cell is a very considerably amoeba is has the definite skip it's called the pseudopodia the size of the cell living is or organism may be small at the million of the moles সেপুরি আপরে recapitulation amoeba has no shape majority of the cells is in the cells size of the cell is the living organism এবং write about the different size and shape organism draw a diagram of the amoeba internship lesson plan 5 preliminary internship না class subject লিখে দেবে unit topic লিখিবে এবং না এটা আপন লিখিবে class আপন অষ্টম নবম দশম লিখিবে subject biological science unit মধ্যে the story of the microorganism topic হচ্ছে discovery of microorganism date মধ্যে দেবে তেଣୁ ଏହିପରି ଭାବରେ ଆପଣ କ'ଣ ରହିବ ନା ଲିଉଇନ୍ ହକ୍ in built in a single lens for a powerful microscopic which could magnify the objective 500 times the curiosity and the skill of making powerful lens where the secrets of this invention of powerful microscope this keen observation of different things under his scope microscopic helped him to discover a small organism in 1678 he called then an animalcules later these were named as a bacteria he also observed that the other microorganism under the microscope which their respectively named later on this helped further discover of other organism microorganism which we can see the living of the organism in our surrounding but we cannot see many of them through our naked eyes they can be seen with a microscopy they are called the microorganism objectives ରହିଲା ଏବଂ specification ରହିଲା objective of the student are require the knowledge about discovery of the microorganism the student recall that the introduce like microorganism microscope scientists discover understanding the pupil understand the biological term like magnifying lens microorganism microscope animals the student recognize the concept of principle of micro terms when the student learn term microorganism describing application the student applies the knowledge of microbiology এবং fact হচ্ছে the pupil understand the fact that there is a discovering of the microorganism scientific hoche attitude the people develop the scientific by showing the institution towards the discovery of the microorganism এবং make a hypothesis the student make the hypothesis microorganism discovery summarization hoche microbiological science was born system as you know a single powerful microscope that object 300 times small of the moving called animalcule is a bacteria recapitulation of the small moving organism are dash microorganism usual born dash animalcule are named is dash microorganism are observed under dash এবং assignment হচ্ছে write about the discovery of microorganism draw the diagram scope internship lesson analysis preliminary ଆପଣ ନିଜ ନାଁ ଲେଖିବେ class ଅଷ୍ଟମ ନବମ ଲେଖିବେ subject biology ହେଲେ unit of the story of microorganism date charge topic the concept of microorganisms ତେଣୁ ସେହିପରି ଭାବରେ ଆପଣ ଦେଖିପାରିବେ observing bacteria we can see also the bilateral maternal supplement skins in our armpits and the many of the number then not a little divided system there are the several bacteria growing in our skin many disease causing out of the like some symbiotic relationship with the other bacteria they are the different kind of bacteria in our intestine which are useful in digestion bacteria can be found in the under the where the thousand of the soil water objectives so knowledge the student acquires the knowledge about different groups understand the pupil understand the group of organism application the student application the knowledge of microbiology the student recall the term like bacteria fungi the student recognize by being the group of microorganisms the pupils understand the fact that the microorganisms have the different growths scientific attitude the pupil develop the scientific attitude by the showing interest in the classification organism the student make the hypothesis have a microorganism divided into different groups a teaching aids hoji kono a chart in bacteria fungi reference books hoji 8th class about the text book এবং content analysis hoji apanଙ୍କର introduction of the lesson objective or specific to test the previous knowledge of pupil to teacher activity. Good morning student, how are you, what is your name, where do you live, and what are the present of the earth. Good morning, fine, arise on earth, plant, animals, human. No, they are divided into two different groups. Yes, microorganism. Internship study lesson plan preliminary impression. Name of the student, teacher name, class hoଉଛି ଅଷ୍ଟମ ଏବଂ subject hoଉଛି biological science. unit hoଉଛି story of microorganism. topic hoଉଛି observing of the algae protozoa. date hoଉଛି ପୁରା content analysis hoଉଛି observing algae. we observe the greenish pond of the surrounding its greenish growth algae plant in the water. some like the scribe এবং but most algae present in microscoping can be through only observing of the other of the micro protozoa এবং microorganisms. some of the microorganisms are very important. Soil they are seen by the decomposing biomass and digestion bigger compounds compound. They also find highlighted set objective এবং specification. knowledge হচ্ছে কোন pupil acquire the knowledge about knowing algae protozoa. understand the pupil understand about algae. recall the student maybe microorganisms. recognize the student recognize be a content protozoa এবং observation the student applies the knowledge. the observation fact with the pupil understand the fact that algae are protozoa are observed in the unedible eye. concept with the pupil understand the concept of observing protozoa. make a hypothesis, student make the hypothesis are observed. summarize the microorganisms are present in the water. algae, the chara and spirogyra are some of the other type of algae. They can be observed with a microscope. the microscope present in water. soil protozoa microarthropods is important for soil. some of micro arthropods cause disease like amoebiasis. এইপুরা recapitulation হচ্ছে algae are present in protozoa are seen in a micro arthropod are suggested assigned এবং how can you arthropod to soil এবং internship lesson plan 8 হচ্ছে preliminary impression. name of the student, teacher, class, subject biology science unit story of microorganism. topic হচ্ছে observing the soil of the microorganism এবং content analysis of the soil is highly rich in microorganisms such as bacteria, fungi, protozoa. the top 3 inches soil are may contain as much as the and a half of ton fungi bacteria. this is very much useful growing crops and observing the soil microorganism as they fell viruses. these are the intervarying the microorganisms that behave like the living where the inside the animals in the they have the also the microscopic soil sunsoil caused they also do bodies animal and plants. objective hoji knowledge pupil knowledge about virus understanding the pupil understanding about the viruses microorganism. the student applies the knowledge of microbiology. the student recall the term of virus soil microorganism like student microorganism fact. the students are understood fact এবং scientific hoche upon the student the pupil scientific interact by knowing the about the viruses এবং concept the pupil understand the concept of the virus understanding the pupil understand about the soil organism knowledge the pupil acquire the knowledge about the viruses fact the pupil understand the fact that viruses can be seen under the election microscope. where do microorganisms present, what are the viruses, how they reproduce and how can they see name of the disease hoଉଛି কোন ଆପଣଙ୍କର ରହିବ they have to present in the organism which are virus non the reproduce the bacteria and the fungi. এইগুলি ভাବରେ the can be only the through a powerful microscope. AIDS polio এবং হাইপড টাইপড এইপুরিয়া ভাবে রহিলা এবং তারপরে দেখিপারে ଆପଣ এଠି ଆପଣ जो ରହିଛି ভাইরাসেস ব্যাকটেরিয়া ফঞ্জি এবং पावरफुल इलेक्ट्रॉन माइक्रोस्कोप जो जिनसटा आपण रही स्पेसिफिकेशन रे एवं समराइजेशन जदि कथा आलोचना करबा सॉइल इज रिच इन माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म एवं वायरसेस बिहेव लाइक ए लिविंग एंड नॉन लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म दे कैन be seen only through a electron microscope. disease are polio, AIDS, flu caused by virus recapitulation. AIDS is a disease viruses can be seen soil is rich. assignment right about it drawn in the diagram. internship lesson plan 9 preliminary information name of the student teacher hoji lakshma apun naati likhibe এবং ক্লাস অষ্টম লাগে সবজেক্ট হচ্ছে বায়োলজিক্যাল সায়েন্স ইউনিট অফ স্টোরি অফ মাইক্রো টপিক মাইক্রোঅর্গান ফল সেইগুলি হারে আপনার কন্টেন্ট আনালিসিস মাইক্রোঅর্গানিজম আছে এভরিওয়ার দ্য পার্ট অফ দ্য এয়ার ওয়াটার সয়েল দ্য বডিজ অফ অ্যানিমাল প্লান্ট এবং সম অফ মাইক্রোঅর্গানিজম আর ভেরি ইউজফুল ওয়েল usual friendly microorganisms. some of microorganisms are everyday in the meaning of the idli dosa bread shake. some of the microorganisms are also the preparation medicinal require. some of them are the fuels of usually called buttermilk like bacteria milk into curd এবং to the out the preparing bread rises এবং fermentation. objective hoji knowledge upon the student acquire the knowledge different types of ଆପଣଙ୍କର रहे microorganisms understand the people understand the microorganism the students apply the knowledge and recalls of the student recall the term of recognition the concept of useful organism term of the students are learn terms of fermentation scientific attitude pupil develop the scientific attitude university towards the interest people develop towards the scientific interest, knowing different types of organism. The term of the students are terms and the fact to the pupils and the fact in the concept of organism. Make a hypothesis, the student make the hypothesis that how the microorganism very useful এবং summarization হচ্ছে কোন না microorganism are called the frame is increase the soil microorganism, they are also to the prepare in the bread. Recapitulation, microorganisms are called as medicine are prepared by the use of dash is added over the top of the prepared by bread. Assignment, what is the fermentation, what are the uses of microorganism. Internship होची 10 होची कोन ना preliminary information रहला नेम होता अपन जो नाट लिखिए क्लास और स्टोन ओनर्स लिखिए सर्वन लिखिए बायोलॉजिकल साइंस लिखिए यूनिट ऑफ द स्टोरी ऑफ द स्टोर यूनिट होची स्टोरी ऑफ माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म टॉपिक होची अपन मेडिसिन जो जिंस रहला डेट लिख देबे सेही पुरी हारे आपनकर कंटेंट एनालिसिस मध्ये लिखियो सम ऑफ टाइम्स useful in illegal injured and all of the operation under the doctor's prescription, some of medicine that kill the bacteria in such as medicinally used are called as the antibiotics that as the producer among specific microorganism. Nowadays antibiotics like penicillin, streptomycin etc are being produced. Antibiotic help among writing the many and prevent in the infection like antibiotics used to contain the bacteria disease in the plant. We must antibiotic prescribed in the qualified. If we use to antibiotic without the counseling of the doctor, it may be harmful. Unnecessary antibiotic structures এবং teaching methodology lecture come demonstration method teaching aids এবং reference the books of the 8th class biology textbook objective specification introduction. How are you, what is your name, it's a rainy season and most of the people with is useful have the what are the happens in the less এবং fine लक्षण है the general cold fever and hospital doctor check up and the pressure medicine antibiotics से पूरा knowledge रहेगा. people are acquires the knowledge what about the antibiotics, understanding the people understanding the concept of microscopy organism producer and so today where the medicinal of the use what are the antibiotic, how does the produce name of the some antibiotic, how the antibiotic helpful the medicine is to kill the bacteria and are called the antibiotic. These are the produced by the growing a specific organism. Term people learn the different terms and antibiotics and what happens in use antibiotics without consulting a doctor, it causes harm, it affects the blood cell. Concept of the pupil understanding the concept about the uses of what happens by using the unnecessary antibiotics এবং এবারে ইন্টার্নশিপ লেসনালিটি প্রেগনেন্সি নেম মতো আপন নিজ না লিখিও ক্লাস লিখিও সবজেক্ট যদি আপন বায়োলজি यूनिट टॉपिक डेट मध्य देबे पुना ऑब्जेक्टिव्स रहिছে আপন मानकर स्पेसिफिकेशन मत रहइबो नॉलेज द स्टूडेंट एक्वायर द नॉलेज ऑफ द डिस्कवरी एंटीबायोटिक्स अंडरस्टैंडिंग द पीपल अंडरस्टैंड द डिस्कवर साइंटिफिक एटीट्यूड पीपल डेवलप द साइंटिफिक एटीट्यूड शोइंग इंटरेस्ट एंटीबायोटिक्स रिकॉल द स्टूडेंट्स हैव रिकॉग्नाइज द स्टूडेंट्स एंटीबायोटिक्स टर्म्स कोन रहइबो से पूरा फैक्ट द पीपल अंडरस्टैंड द फैक्ट द एंटीबायोटिक डिस्कवर द अलेक्जेंडर फ्लेमिंग मेक हाइपोथेसिस ର मैटर रहइबो ए पूरी भाबरे टीचिंग एड चार्ट इज अलेक्जेंडर फ्लेमिंग एंटीबायोटिक रेफरेंस बुक मध्य रहइबो 8th class biology objective special teacher. Good morning student, how are you? If you want to what the library, if you want to get what is the doctor prescribe is the today you discuss. Good morning, fine, where not healthy hospitality antibiotics and who discovered penicillin, who was Alexander and is a doctor. Summarization of Alexander is a Fleming the penicillin, he discovered the penicillin fungus. Penicillium was discovered 1929. Recapitulation which penicillin is discovered by penicillin is discovered in the year. Penicillin is assignment write about the discovery of the penicillin. से पूरा 4 नंबर हो जाए इंटर्नशिप लेसन प्लान 12 प्रीलिमिनरी इंफॉर्मेशन ना लिखियो क्लास लिखियो सब्जेक्ट बायोलॉजी साइंस यूनिट लिखियो स्टोरी ऑफ माइक्रोऑर्गेनिज्म टॉपिक मध्ये लिखियो डेट मध्ये आपण देबे এবং সেই প্রকার কন্টেন্ট অ্যানালিসিস দেখিয়ে ডক্টর প্রেসক্রাইব द मेडिसिन इन द फॉर्म ऑफ टैबलेट अपन सिरप इंजेक्शन एटसेट्रा द ऑफन द प्रोटेक्टेड अगेंस्ट द सर्टेन disease by the vaccination. This protection as a form of get the disease of the area long preterm children below the 5 years must have to take the polio drops. Our national objective is to make the free society. Polio is a dangerous disease. Also discover the polio and doctor about the discovery the whenever the disease in the antibiotics about knowing the pupils about the knowledge and pupils understand the concept of vaccine of polio. How do you doctor the prescription, who are the giving polio and what is the risk of polio, who discovered the polio and tablet children say blood doctor Joel below polio vaccine is giving oval drops. People that know that the fact polio is giving the former drops, who discovered the first and year Jenner se purare summarize the people produce that prescribe the doctor by its form of tablet syrup other protect against the disease by vaccination. Dr. Salk discovered the polio vaccination. Polio is a given from oral drops. Education Edward Jenner humans. Recapitulation which doctor prescribe the medicine in the form of disease are protected by polio vaccine or disease by এবং write about the polio vaccine internship there hoji preliminary introduction name of the student your class subject and unit of the story of microorganism topic soil microorganism date hoji seipuri bhavre apan about 78% air around the nitrogenous plant it mainly synthesis protein but they cannot make it form of atmosphere microorganism like a reagent stock এবং its essential element plants using from certain compound that they release into the soil that they can be taken by the plants and the microorganism present in soil like fungi bacteria biological waste present in the soil into a small compound some of which are is essential for plants এবং এগুলো হবে motivation to test the knowledge announcement of topic knowledge of the people after the presentation good morning students how are you what are your life and what are the present of the how the plants what are the sources of and good morning ଏଇପରି ଭାବରେ ଆପଣ ଲେଖିବେ ଏବଂ ତାପରେ ରହିଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କର ସମରାଇଜେସନ about 98% of air around the nitrogenous microgenous ribosome ନଷ୍ଟ ନେବେ ନା এবং recapitulation is that is gas surrounding us plant nitrogenous synthesis using what means assignment what are about the soil for microorganism how did the soil is the fertility internship lesson plan 14 preliminary introduction ଆପଣ ଦେବେ ନା ନିଜ ନାଁ ଲେଖିବେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଆପଣ ଅଷ୍ଟମ ଶ୍ରେଣୀର ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ହେଉଛି biological science unit ହେଉଛି story of microorganism topic ଆପଣଙ୍କର harmful microorganism date ଆପଣ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବେ ଏବଂ content analysis microorganism can disease can plant disease of soil food or clothes of the other things disease causes microorganism human being microorganism which is disease called the pathogen enter in our body we breathe in our water we drink এবং what the food of it they carry the intermediate estimated through the directly contact with the infected person with the animals insect এবং person sneezing cough and enter to in our body and help for the maybe cold disease infection some of the insect carry a disease in some every teachings ଲେଖିବେ ଏବଂ ଏ ଚାର୍ଟ on internal mosquito that digit reference books ମଧ୍ୟ ଲେଖିବେ ଏବଂ ତା ସହିତ objective specification teacher activity pupils activity TLM BBW ଏଠି the same situation introduction understand the pupil knowledge harmful of the organism knowledge pupil about the acquires of the knowledge of the disease এবং good morning students how do the living things and what are the organisms so what are the called of the organism what do harmful এবং good morning when the organism microorganism harmful microorganism causes of the disease of the organism summarize some of the microorganism cause of the disease in the plant of animal and human the spoil of the food of the clothes many other things microorganism causing the disease are called pathogen insect carry the disease এবং causing the microorganism are called the normally discovered এবং by the analogical most recapitulation of the microorganism cause disease in that microorganism causing the disease as discovered the female hypothesis mosquito assignment of it write the microorganisms এবং write about the disease causing the microorganism in human beings internship lesson plan 15 pre-9% ନିଜ ନାଁ ଲେଖିବେ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଲେଖିବେ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଲେଖିବେ ଟପିକ୍ ଲେଖିବେ ନାଁରେ ପ୍ଲଟ୍ ନିଜ ଅଷ୍ଟମ ନବମ ଦଶମ ଯାହା ଲେଖା ଲେଖିବେ ବାୟୋଲୋଜିକାଲ ସାଇନ୍ସ ଆପଣମାନେ ଏଠି ଲେଖିବେ ଏବଂ ତା ସହିତ ଆପଣ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେବେ ଏବଂ ମାଇକ୍ରୋଅର୍ଗାନିଜମ୍ ଫୁଡ୍ ପଏଜନିଂ ହେଉଛି ଟପିକ୍ ଏବଂ ଡେଟ୍ ଛାଡ଼ିଦେବେ କଣ୍ଟେଣ୍ଟ ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ କ'ଣ ଲେଖା ଅଛି ଦେଖିବେ ସମ୍ ମାଇକ୍ରୋଅର୍ଗାନିଜମ୍ ପ୍ରଡ୍ୟୁସ୍ ଦ ଟକ୍ସିକ୍ ସବଷ୍ଟିଟ୍ୟୁଏଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଏ ସ୍ପଏଲ୍ଡ ଫୁଡ୍ ଦେ ଆର୍ ଦ ସବଷ୍ଟାନ୍ସ ମେକ୍ ଦ food of the toxin that the state of food may be vomiting even to the death of food of spoiled in the less than raw food if microbes grow and our body they spoil the spoiled food emulsion fat smell taste and if a mosquito of the present in the food of items helping the microorganism to grow the cause of food of poisoning is a very growing microorganism we can prevent that the growth is microorganism food fishes are preserved by the adding smoking them they are many methods to preserve the foods in which gives to keep us food fresh and available objective session किछि नाही टीचर एक्टिविटी पीपल एक्टिविटी लगे TLM डूडली evaluation किछि नाही टीचर एक्टिविटी कोन अछि देखिया टीचर एक्टिविटी होछि अपन टीचर सेज दैट गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट्स रिप्लाई देखिबे बुडान पटे रेफर टीचर एक्टिविटी देखिए आर यू फाइन एंड व्हाट इज द योर नेम तनु अपन नाम लिखियो डिड यू हैव टू ब्रेकफास्ट यस एवं अपन स्टूडेंट्स लिखिले केबा व्हाट इज द नेम व्हाट यू हैव द इडली एठी व्हाट डू इन द प्रेजेंट ऑफ द it in the same is no breakfast is tomorrow morning also why because it's spoiled and how do you know food is spoiled but by its smell and yes today will be discuss about the foods and preservations but presentation at lekhibe knowledge lekhibe ebong people's acquire the knowledge about spoiled of food recalls people's recalls about the food poisoning understanding the people's and understanding about the food poisoning how does the poisoning occurs and what do the microorganism produce and how does the vomiting occurs and which is bacteria is caused food poisoning and I said lekha by consuming spoiled and the foods actually ଆପଣଙ୍କର evaluations ଲେଖା ଅଛି ଏବଂ toxic substances by taking the state of food or clusters bacterium that taste and smell and mosquitoes ଏହିପରି ଭାବରେ internship lesson plan 16 preliminary information ଲେଖିବେ ଏବଂ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଅଷ୍ଟମ ନବମ ଦଶମ ସବଜେକ୍ଟ ଲେଖିବେ biological science ଏବଂ story of microorganism topic ହେଉଛି pasteurization ଏବଂ ତାପରେ ଦେଖିବା କ'ଣ ଲେଖା ଅଛି ଏବଂ content analysis method of presentation as heat of the cold method pasteurization refining in habit in the growing the microorganism pasteurization method of the preservation is utilized and products process milk that is heat up to 70 degrees Celsius to for 15 to 30 minutes second while the chill share the present is a gradual microorganism. This was the discovered by the Louis Pasteur. Objective and specification like objectives on rival and knowledge pupils acquire the knowledge method of the preservation of food understanding the pupil understand the concept of the preservation of pasteurization application student applies the knowledge of food preservation specification recall the pupil terms the shortage preservation reorganizing pupil reorganization of preservation terms the pupil the heat the co-pasteurization pasteurization have the fact people understand the fact that the by research in method of pasteurization scientific attitude of people develop scientific attitude showing their inadequacy towards food preservation make hypothesis that how the food is preserved. सेगुड़ा टीचिंग मेथड रहिबो टीचिंग एड्स रहिबो डी रेफरेंस बुक्स मत रहिबो टीचिंग मेथड रहिबो लेक्चर डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन टीचिंग एड्स एबे चार्ट ऑन लुइस पास्टरेशन एवं 8th क्लास बायोलॉजिकल टेस्ट ऑब्जेक्टिव स्पेसिफिकेशन मध्य रहिबो कोन रहिबो देखिया टीचर एक्टिविटी पीपल एक्टिविटी टीएलएम बीपीडब्ल्यू इवैल्यूएशन टीचर एक्टिविटी गुड मॉर्निंग स्टूडेंट हाउ आर यू व्हाट इज योर नेम डिड यू have your breakfast it's a flow element so what will the remain method why do you know you have to milk how the milk is preserved. So today we will discuss about the food preservation and pasteurization. People activity seems good morning fine and jana to say then yes it's dosta it's keep it refrigeration and not special no and a summarization heat and cold the pasteurization is done by 70 degrees Celsius to for 15 to 30 days second Pasteur discovered by the pasteurization Pasteur was born on 1822 recapitulation kon hoiche method of preservation of food or dash pasteurization was discovered by dash write about the method of preservation of food এবং write about the Louis Pasteur internship 17 রয়েছে কোন দেখিয়া preliminary information name of the student teacher class आपण অষ্টম নবম দশম যাহা চাহে লিখি পারিবে এবং biological science এপরি har unit story of microorganism storage of packing topic date রহিলা এবং content analysis রহিলা the proper preservation of food help us in the following ways এবং prevent a spoiled of food can be preserved for longer period of quality of food is ensured a long time quantity of food is available always plays a many season refrigeration to intimate the heat of the to very high objective session knowledge people acquire the knowledge about the packing understanding people understand about the storage of packing apply the students applies knowledge of preservation scientific people develop the scientific in showing attitude recalls the people recall the term shortage preservation pupils recognize about the preservation of food people learn the terms of food and people understanding the fact ribosome in the rubber food concept of people understand the concept and storage of the packing knowledge rahibo recalls rahibo knowledge kon hobo people acquire the knowledge of storage and packing of food material recalls people record about the preservation how are you what the vegetable should how does the preservation of food help us on or sealed with a tight packets at the preservation spoil of food can be preserved longer in time quality food any season at a child able understanding the pupils understand the concept preservation variety items and can be available in the intelligent process microbes or rayosome and which bacterium takes the nitrogen atmosphere summarization kon rahila fruits or vegetable are stored in sealed as tight as a prevent organization outside preservation is food helps in the preservation এবং pasteurization is led in the installment rhizobium এবং recapitulation is the fruits of return rhizobium is present rhizobium takes a dust from atmosphere assignment with the literal of the story of the nitrogen bacteria to interpret lesson plan 18 preliminary question ରହିଲା name of the student teacher ରହିଲା class of ନବମ ଯାହା ଲେଖିବା ତ ଲେଖିବେ subject biological science lesson ହେଉଛି କ'ଣ cell basic unit topic structure function of unit ଏଇପରି ଭାବରେ ଆପଣଙ୍କ ରହିଲା content analysis କ'ଣ ରହିବ ମନେ ରଖନ୍ତୁ each organism is a system that function is similarly different planet example of the roads and help each organ এবং tissue coverage ରହିଲା ଏବଂ objective ରହିବ specification ରହିବ objective ରହିବ knowledge other people are acquire the knowledge the structure of the function of cell recall ରହିବ people recall the term cytoplasm cell membrane nucleus Like the people recognize about the structure function of a cell, understanding of the people understand about the structure and function of a cell. Application students apply the knowledge of a cell of people study cell term like the nuclear cell. In fact, people understand the fact that tissue is a group of cells. Scientific aptitude concept, people understand the concept of attitude of function, people develop the scientific attitude showing that towards the function of a cell. Teaching method, teaching aids, reference book, lecture demonstration method, chart of a plan, এবং an annual cell, 8 class biology text books, every objective specific teacher active, people active, TLM people evaluation. Good morning student, good morning, how are you, fine, what is your name, knowledge and general to know the tool till the parts of cell. Today we will discuss about the structure and the function of cells, every presentation knowledge. People acquire the knowledge of the cell, each of organism made of cell of the cell, about the some what are the types of cells, they know plant cell, এবং charter people the recalls এবং understand the pupils understand the concept of part of the cell. Summarization হচ্ছে কোন each organism is a food of the make part is the tissue cell called the primation. Recapitulation structure এবং animal cell, assignment cell, write about the plant cell, write about the animal cell এবং internship lesson plan 19 এবং pre-9% of the student class যায় subject is biology and lesson the cell of the biological topic হচ্ছে comprehension in the between of the animal cell এবং content analysis হচ্ছে there are the different types of between the animal cell, plant cell, content are used. Photosynthesis, plant cell, how the cell, surrounding cell membrane, animal cell, vacuole compare animal cells are larger than plant cell, are many more in nature এবং animal cell are dozen large vacuole. Objective এবং specification knowledge হচ্ছে pupils are acquire the knowledge about plant animal cell, people recall the term plant and animal cell, understanding the people understanding about the structure of plant animal cell, people recognize about the structure of plant and animal cell. Application, student applies the knowledge of a cell, people learn the terms like plant cell, animal cell. Scientific attitude, people develop the scientific attitude by showing the cell concept of plant cell. Summarization এবং plant cell having a chloroplast under the cell. Recapitulation, plant cell এবং plant do not have cell. Assignment হচ্ছে write about the composition of a cell, write about the major component of a plant cell, draw a diagram of animal and plant cell এবং এটি আপনাদের হয়ে গেল assignment উপরে internship lesson 20 এবং 29% নাম of the student, teacher, class এবং subject biological sciences, cell the basic unit related discovery of a cell এবং several content analysis in the year of 1669 established while the observing the microscope he saw a textile in the box illustrated and described the cells and he had the discovered the plant cell. It led with the understanding এবং the living of the cells, the cell basic and from existing cell are produced এবং cell containing the observation process. Objective, specification knowledge of the people acquire the knowledge to tracking of the cell. Metal pupils recalls the cytoplasm, cell memory, people recognize the structure of function of cell. Recall people are about preservation, people learning the term of like a cell. Understanding of the people understand the concept of preservation এবং and then understanding the tissue of a group cell এবং knowledge is the people is the acquisition of knowledge about the plant cell. People recall the term plant and animal cell. Recognition, people recognizing about the structure and plant of animal. Application or student apply the people lesson plan concept, people understand the scientific attitude, the strong attitude এবং teaching method. Lecture demonstration the teaching start at the plant cell এবং 8th class biological test objective specification, teacher activity. Good morning, how are you, what is your name, do you know all the facts. Good morning, people activity TLM BBW এবং today we will discuss about the structure cell. Knowing people acquire the knowledge each organism cell in the chest. Recall people about the part of what are the type of blood. Understanding which people understand the concept of part of the cell. Objective, teacher activity. Good morning students, how are you, what is your name, did you have a document know the meal ground. Good morning, fine, Krishna, yes, Tosa, no. So today we will discuss about the fruit preservation and pasteurization knowledge from the student require about the discovery of cell. Understand the people understand the biological terms like magnification, like less. The student recall the terms like organism, microorganism, reorganism. The student recognize the concept of principle of microscope facts. Application, the student applies the knowledge of cell এবং the pupils develop the scientific interest by through the discovery এবং the pupil understand the fact about the cell structure. Conclusion, the student make the conclusion the microorganism are discovered এবং the biological theory and researches for the discovery staying the section of microscope for all the number of the cell. The basic function of life is very cell is produced by, so cell contains by information the process of structure एवं last page देखिबा हमें summarization cell is the basic structure and function of unit of life recapitulation is discover the cell एवं assignment is write the assignment of discovery of cell तो सरीगला आपनकर बायोलॉजी इंटर्नशिप रो थर्ड सेमिस्टर प्रैक्टिकल रिकॉर्ड तो वीडियो को लाइक करूँ चैनल को शेयर करूँ सब्सक्राइब करूँ पाखे थिया बेल आइकन बटन क्लिक करा सहित ऑल बटन क्लिक करूँ जाफले न्यू न्यू वीडियो नोटिफिकेशन आपण माने हम चैनल माध्यम रे निज होम पेज रे पाई परिबे तेणु यहाँ संपूर्ण बायोलॉजी इंटर्नशिप रो संपूर्ण वीडियो।